Hey everyone! Today I'm going to read the book Lest We Forget. This book is a book that's commemorating Anzac Day. This is in a special group of books that's commemorating the 100 years of Anzac Day. And this year, in 2020, is actually the 105th year since the World War I. So Anzacs commemorate Anzac Day, and Anzacs commemorate and we remember all that served, all the people, men and women and animals that served during World War I, World War II, and all conflicts since then. Today, on the 25th of April, it is a very special day each year. That is one of our main chances to really make sure that we remember what these beautiful people and our families did for us to live in this amazing country that we have. Okay, now this book, Lest We Forget, was written by Kerry, illustrated by actually two people. Normally it's one, but this one, how lucky is that? Two people illustrated this book. And that's Isabel Knowles and Benjamin Portes. And also remember, we always have to have a look and see which company helped to publish the books. Okay, so this book might be a little bit small here for you to see, but was published by HarperCollins. And the first time that it was published was in 2015. Okay, and there's a dedication here. It says, dedicated to all those who serve our country, past, present, and future. Special acknowledgement to Mr. Ron Workman, OAM, so that's Order of Australia Medal, for his selfless dedication and commitment to the remembrance of Anzac. All right, let's read this beautiful book. My granddad says there are two types of days. There's those you want to remember and those you want to forget. There's a young boy sitting with his grandfather. I remember my first day of school. I had a brand new uniform and Mum polished my shoes until I could see my face in them. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have done that with your mum too. I was a little bit scared. I think we're all a little bit scared when we start school. But Mum said I had to stand tall because I was her brave little soldier. There he is, all ready for his first day of school. And this looks like, there's no words on this page, they're just illustrations. But the illustrations can really help to tell the story. So here we can see there's a young man dressed in a uniform. So he's ready to go to war. There's his parents, probably. We can guess that. Looks like that's his wife. And there he is, and he's going off to war. I remember playing soccer on the weekends with my team. We trained really hard. Sometimes we won and sometimes we lost. That's normal. Our coach said that we were like a family. And it was important for us to look after each other on the field. We do that at school too, don't we? When we play together and we look after each other and we're like a little family. Again, here's a look at probably his grandfather. And they're in the war. And I know, because I know a little bit about the war and World War I, that you can see that these soldiers are sitting in the trenches, probably somewhere in France. So you can see they're sitting a little bit injured, having a cup of tea, looking at maps. I remember when my baby sister was born. Mum and Dad, all of our friends arrived with presents and plates of food. Everyone sang and danced late into the night. It's always fun having parties, isn't it? And when we have new babies in the family, they're really great memories, aren't they? Again, there's no words, but we can still see what's going on with these beautiful illustrations. So there's the man who went off to war in those pictures. He's reading a letter. There's an envelope. And he's reading a letter. And he's got a photo. And that photo would be of his little baby girl by the look of it, or little baby boy. Because remember, his wife's back at home in Australia. So that's actually a really nice memory. Not nice maybe because he's not home, but it's nice that he's able to get that mail. There's Mum and Dad and the baby and the boy. Oh. I would like to forget the day Mum tried to make stuffed pork. Oh, I wonder why. She burnt the roast and the whole house filled up with smoke. We had to eat Vegemite sandwiches for dinner. I'm guessing that sometimes when we're a little bit tired or something doesn't go right in the kitchen, we've all had Vegemite sandwiches for dinner too, haven't we? Here are the men in the trenches still having a drink. And I can see something that they're eating. And this was something, these are Anzac biscuits. And families in Australia used to actually make and cook Anzac biscuits. And they used to wrap them up and put them in tins. And they used to send them to the soldiers that were fighting over in France. If you're lucky, you might be able to get to make some Anzac biscuits. Oh, I wonder what's going on here. I would like to forget the day Dad's truck got a flat tire. I had to walk all the way to school. The sun was scorching hot and my bag was so heavy. Again, I think all of us that had a bus broken down on us or a car or something, we've had to walk or we've had to call someone to come and help us. It's never fun, is it? And here we go again. There's no words on this page again. This is about the war. It's raining. I think our location may have changed because we can see looks more like a jungle type of place. And if Shano's pretty right, that to me means might be World War II, might be somewhere in the jungle, could be Kokoda, which is in Papua New Guinea. My pop actually was in Papua New Guinea during World War II. He didn't fight in Kokoda, but he was in a company that was called Supply. So he was one of the butchers. So it was really important to have other people, not just people that fight in the war, that actually help and look after our soldiers and make sure our soldiers are fed and looked after really well. I would like to forget the day the vet rang to say our dog had died. That's not fun either, but that happens. Dad helped me make her a special goodbye bed in the backyard. Some of you may have done that before with an animal. Could have been a dog or a cat or a fish, maybe a rabbit or a guinea pig. But we can remember the good fun times that we had with our animals. Here's another page. Telegram. Back before we had computers, we used to have things called telegrams. They were like letters. Telegrams during the war usually gave families information that maybe someone in their family had passed away during the war. And maybe we can sort of guess that because the lady here is crying and she's holding the telegram. Sometimes when I visit Granddad, we talk about our days. Well, we'll What's Granddad doing? Doing a bit of word search. Looks like he's out on the bus. Granddad's stories are always interesting. And he thinks mine are funny. Here's the boy playing in the tree. Oh, look, he's got a guinea pig now. Granddad says that out of all the days in the year, there are two that are very important. April 25th. He says that they are days that make the country stand still. And they are the days that make him sad. I asked Granddad if these are the days he would like to forget. He looked at me and said, "No, son. These are the days when we must stop and remember." To remember, we need to remember. So we have Anzac Day, April 25th. And this one here is November 11th. And that's Remembrance Day. And you can see the poppy here. The poppy is really important as well. And we'll learn more about that. Lest we forget. And that's what we say so that we make sure that we remember all the people that have fought and the animals that have fought in the war to help protect us. So that book was Lest We Forget. And remember, it was written by Kerry Brown, illustrated by Isabel Knowles and Benjamin Portis. Hope you enjoyed listening to that, guys. I'll see you real soon. Bye.